I don't want to play outside anymore. I had just mowed the lawn to see if it'd run. Oh, you'll see that video later. But we're not going to need this guy anymore for this season. I didn't need it at all. I started it up for nothing, like I did last year. And I'm proud of that, and I'm happy about that. What a great thing to not have to run this machine. Not that I don't like it, I love the machine. It's just the fact that if I don't have to snow blow, it's a good day. Got a little dent there. I don't know what that's from. That's good. We don't need that. I put gas in this back when there's a link in the prescription. Stay on. Woo-wee! Nice stuff in there. There's a little fuel in there, like I left it. Hasn't run, so it shouldn't have used any oil, and it certainly was leaking on the ground, so we'll check it, because God forbid. It's certainly within range. So we'll call that, make believe that's good. There we go. I'm old, so I got the electric start because I got it, I might as well use it. Till the one day when it doesn't work and then I can't use it. I think this plug fits, yeah it does. Because otherwise I wouldn't have left that cord there. So, this is going to be a pain because I don't think it primes anymore. Choke is on start. Turn the switch on. Turn the fuel on. Hang on. I got to do things right. Turn the fuel on. Okay. Give that time. That's time. Now prime. That didn't do anything. See if we have, yeah, she's not stuck. All right. Let's see if it'll run on however much fuel is in there. I think it ought to. I said that weird. All right, here we go. Like that kind. Prime a little more. Not today. Here. Oh, you know what? That pretty much is it. Wow. Well, I'm not satisfied with that. I want it to run a little bit. Well, shouldn't put that on a hot exhaust. Because I don't want to just leave it with you know, semi-lukewarm engine. I want it to warm up. Will that be enough for it to restart? I'll put the choke there. I kind of liked it. So maybe it was just kind of out of fuel and that's why it was running like that. I don't know. Just died out. Let's do one of these and see if it'll crank back up. That was kind of a cool sound. Take the choke off a little. One more time with the choke. Yeah, just that little bit. Let me go way back. Okay, that's all she wrote. Starter's barely warm. Good. Problem with snowblowers and electric start. Shut the fuel, turn the switch off, choke on. Good. Problem with snowblowers and the electric start is, again, what we're going to talk about in the video on mowing the lawn and getting the lawn equipment started. When you got a carburetor and you don't have fuel in it, but the engine is otherwise sound in that it has air, you can get air in, and it's got spark, it needs fuel for the fire triangle for it to work. We ran out of fuel. And what people do is they either forget to put enough fuel in or something, although a lot of people, I'm sure, just load it on up with fuel and then don't use it and end up with stale fuel. That's another problem. But in this case, we just burned her out of fuel. That's what I like to do with this pig. What people have a tendency to do is they'll just stay on that starter. Just stay on that constantly. My dad's neighbor has a snowblower that he actually gave to my dad because he burned the starter out on it. My dad's too cheap to replace it, so he just pulls the rope on it. So, yeah, that's how that one works. There's a couple links in the prescription to the old war story about shekels. So yeah, people have a tendency to burn that out. You don't want to run the starter more than is necessary. This is way more than I've ever run it, but like I said, it's just barely warm. So that should not have caused any kind of damage to it, because people really crank on these. They'll sit there and crank this thing 30, 40, 50 seconds at a time, maybe even a minute. Come on, it's got to start, you know. They're priming it and all the, you know, and it's not starting because they got shitty fuel or a problem with the sparkulator or lightning hose or something else, only to find when they finally get it started that they had forgotten they shared a key in the auger. Yep. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. She's plumb out of fuel. In fact, I'll double check while we're here right before I shut this down. One more time. What's one more time, right? There you go. So I got to use 2 fingers to get that out. And yeah, it's just Kasha Varnishka is in there. So that'll be good. Maybe that's why the primer don't work no more. I don't know, used to. But anyway, like we'll talk about in the next video on the lawn and getting the lawn equipment started, if you don't have gas, it ain't gonna fire. And that was one of the problems I had. Well, one of the problems I had in that video. And that's why they're cumbersome and troublesome for people to start. But otherwise, she's all good. Why the primer don't work anymore, I don't know. But as long as the starter works, I can do a cranker wanker on it. It does take a lot more cranking than it used to because there's no gas in it. You're just spinning an engine over and it's not going to fire without fuel, and that's why you get that. But in this case, we just ran it out. And that's why we had that. It sounds... Oh man, there's another old war story I told about that. You really should stop for gas, Dad? Something like that, I think. I'll have to see if I can remember that one. Put a link in the prescription to that. And I remember the 87 Camry. My dad ran that thing out of fuel after stopping to buy 1 solitary gallon of fuel to shut me up. He thought we could drive to the end of the fucking earth and back. And boy was he wrong. And that was a whole shit show and a half with all that. And I made sure to tell my 4th grade class the next day when I came in. I asked the teacher, can I have a minute to just tell the story? And he said, sure. So I told the story, and the kids in the class were like, what the fuck with your dad? Why is he so cheap? So, yeah, it makes weird sounds when there's no fuel in there and it just cranks like that. And man, the 87 Camry, when that thing ran out, it made some sickening sounds. It really did. It's just like, no, I'm not going to fire. I'm just spinning here. And it just, I don't know. This made that 87 Camry sound. I did not like that. But I got to make sure it's out of fuel. That's what I do with this one. The rest of the shit, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, that's going to do it. It's not cold out, but it's cold out. I had my fun today, so I think we're done. Look forward to the lawn equipment startup. It was even a lot more fun than this video in that. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.